Are you looking for a podcast all about the great banana oil accident of yore?
Then you must be thinking of another podcast. Oh shit, I dropped it.
Not again.
Well, good later evening, Kelsey.
Good later evening, Robert. I'm sorry I'm late.
You weren't even that late.
I wasn't super late, so
you're like, I'm running late, and it's like a minute later.
I just wanted you to be prepared that I was not going to be here.
Because I was like, well, I guess I could play some more Destiny. And I was like, I better not, because she might actually be here.
Yeah, so I started watching a movie with dinner, and I was like, okay, I'll be able to leave in the middle of this movie, and then I was absolutely not able to leave in the middle of the movie.
What was the movie?
Shutter Island.
Oh, okay.
So it's an old one, and I've seen it before. So
I was going to say, have you never seen it?
No, I definitely seen it, and I was like, well, I'll just watch it with dinner, and then, like, go record. And then when it was, like, time to record, he was, like, just swimming out to the lighthouse, and I was like, I cannot leave this. I have to see it through.
Did you know that I've never seen that movie?
What?
Yeah.
What?
Like, we never went to see it, and I was like, what happens? And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I've never seen it still.
But you know, like, all the twists and everything.
Yeah, like, it's all in his head. He really did kill people.
Oh, that sucks. That
or
got
something.
ruined for you. That's, like, one of the big movies of our generation.
I mean, it's alright, probably.
It's good. You've got to see it just for the cinematography alone. The cinematography is so good.
If it is on Netflix, I will watch it while I'm abroad yet again.
Did you know who directed it?
Martin Scorsese.
Martin Scorsese, yeah.
Because it was right after The Departed, and I was all like, oh, The Departed was okay. So then this came out, and I was like, this is probably just okay.
Did The Departed also have Leo?
Mm-hmm.
Scorsese just loves Leo, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's what, like, started their whole little, like, love affair.
Why doesn't... Leo deserved an Oscar for so many movies before The Revenant, and I still have not seen The Revenant because I hear it's, like, just okay.
We had just talked about a movie that... Oh, I think it was when you were talking about The Irishman. I pretty much compared it to The Revenant in that not a lot is happening for 3 hours. It's just this constant, like, okay, now this is happening. All right. Oh, it's like really, really cold outside. Oh, he's gonna tauntaun his horse. Okay.
Oh my god.
Did you know that he actually did that though?
Ew, what? Not to a real horse.
Yeah, that's why he won an Oscar.
No. That's not real.
Yeah, they bought a dead horse.
Ew.
And he gutted his way in and slept in it for real.
I cannot believe this. I don't want to believe this.
They let a real bear attack him, like everything.
Oh, no.
No, the bear's not real.
Okay, so the dead bear and the bison and the horse, there's apparently a bison situation also, they were a mixture of props and real. That's fucking wild. I don't even know. I have a Google history saying, did Leonardo DiCaprio gut a horse?
I guess it was, like, well, we can send him to the glue factory or we can put him in a movie. But either way, the outcome will be the same.
God. Well, that fucks me up a little bit.
Sorry.
Well, there are no dead horses in Shutter Island. I really want you to see it. It's
just
so
dead
good.
People?
Well, yeah, a lot of dead people. Dead children.
Here. All I know is the like one frame of him like awkwardly holding his like burning wife or something. Because like he's not really holding her.
Yeah.
I guess when they shot it, but like I've seen that still 10 billion times.
Let me crack this thing open because I just talking about Leo's got me all fired up.
Let me crack mine. Crack. It's tea.
No, so this movie though, I want you to see it just because I know you're like a huge fan of filmmaking, and this is a made film, my dude.
I really like Martin Scorsese too, so
there's like parts of it. So the whole thing is crafted so that when you watch it the second time, you can see it from the perspective that he is a mental patient.
Yeah.
And there's just like these little subtle things, like his partner goes to get a glass of water for a lady, and when he comes back and sets it down, it cuts to a scene and she's drinking it, and she's not actually drinking a glass of water, she's just putting her hand to her mouth. But you wouldn't notice that if you weren't looking for it.
Yeah.
And then there's like he's smoking a cigarette, and like the cigarette smoke is going back in because it's in reverse. It's just some wild shit. It's like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, you know, when shit starts to kind of get crazy and fall apart.
Yeah, I never saw that either.
Robert. Okay.
Like, all the, like, real weird ones.
You love Jim Carrey.
Not in movies like that.
It's a good movie.
I will watch it one day.
Will you?
I've never seen Memento.
Man.
Requiem's for a Dream. Like, all the, like, really out there weird ones I have not seen.
That's, like, my favorite genre of movie. Just, like, fucking weird.
What's the one where, like... Isn't it just called Cube? Where, like, it takes place in, like, that cube and all the weird shit's going down in there?
What? Oh, it's...
With, like,
doesn't
J-Lo?
it have J-Lo? Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think it's called Cube.
Yeah, never saw that one.
That was a weird one.
Like...
Dead horse on that one, too.
I watched some weird movies, but it's, like... I guess gross weird movies?
Yeah, you
not
have a
so
specific
much like...
brand of weird.
Yeah.
I like psychological weird.
Yeah, that doesn't really do it for me. But I do need to watch it, because I've always wanted to see Eternal Sunshine, and I've always heard it's so good. I just never watched it.
Yeah, it'll make you cry.
If like the most psychologically weird movie that I probably have in my belt is What Dreams May Come.
I haven't seen that one.
That's really good. It took a try though, because I was like, I don't know what's happening.
Oh, really?
Like, I don't get this movie. And then it ended, and I was like, that was pretty good. That's like Robin Williams dies.
Oh.
And goes to heaven. But, like, everybody's heaven is... So, like, there's not, like, a place with, like, everybody. Like, you go to your own personal heaven.
Okay.
And he loved his wife's painting, so when he wakes up, he's inside a painting.
Oh.
And so, like, everything's all watercolored, and, like, the flowers, he can squish them, and, like, they turn into paint, because he's just in a painting.
That's so cool.
But then, like, you know, shit goes south, and then a whole bunch of stuff happens.
Okay.
That's a weird one. But maybe it's not so much psychological as just, like, heaven's weirder than I thought, you know?
Okay.
But it was a good one.
You want to know what the most psychologically weird movie I've seen lately?
What?
Cats.
So... You know that the Oscars got announced the other day, right?
Uh-huh.
And do you know what is 0% on that list?
It's Cats.
Cats.
I thought at least they would get a nomination for, what is it, like Best Original Song or something?
For the McCavity one?
No, that's from the original one. No, Beautiful Ghosts. The one that Victoria sings? That's
the new one?
Yeah, that's the new one. Taylor Swift wrote it.
I thought Taylor Swift's new one was the one about McCavity that she sang.
No, that one is like from the original. She just like played the role for that, but she wrote the song for the Victoria cat to sing. I have a whole lot of opinions on Cats, but I really want to hear your full review because I have been waiting for weeks.
Because that was actually one of the songs I didn't like.
Oh my god, really?
So, all right, so the Oscars were nominated. I looked to see if Cats was on here because I was like, there's no way it's going to win every Razzie Award on the face of the planet. How would you like my review? Would you like a score first or a score after?
Give me a score first, and then let's get into the nitty-gritty.
Okay, so out of 10, I'm going to give it probably a solid 2.
Oh, I was going to go 3 for you.
Oh, man. I really did not like this movie, Kelsey.
Oh, I loved it so much.
I did not like it.
Why didn't you like it?
So, you know, a lot of people, like, don't like it because, oh, well, it looks weird or whatever else, right?
Yeah.
It is like Rent for me. I just don't like the music in Rent. I did not like the music in Cats.
Yeah. See, that's an acceptable reason not to like something. The people that don't like cats for the way that it looks are people that are afraid to love.
Because I mean, they
cats,
tried something, and I thought it was a weird idea.
Yes. It was wild. It made little sense because I think it would have been more successful if they had gone like full fucking strange lycra bodysuits and enormous clown wigs. I think that if they had stayed more true to the stage production part of Cats, then they would have had a more successful movie. But because they wanted to like CGI on those cute little ears and have just CGI cats clipping through the floor and shit.
So like the whole movie, I kept trying to find something to like. Like I would go, okay, this isn't working. Can I like this about this movie? No, that's not working either. Can I like this about this movie? And so I know that Cats is not about the music. It's about the dancing. It's a very dance-oriented show, right?
I suppose I've seen a lot of people saying that, but I don't know. Cats to me is all in the lyrics.
So I was like, all right, let's just like appreciate the dancing, right? And now Victoria is a hell of a dancer.
Fuck yeah.
But so then I'm sitting there like, all right, well, if I'm supposed to like the dancing in this movie, how can I enjoy a dance number when they keep cutting away to show me people's faces that aren't dancing in the middle of your dance? I was like, okay, you ruined it for me now.
Right.
And one of my gripes I have to take back.
Okay.
Because another person saw Cats, and I asked them about a specific scene, and it did not occur to them the way it occurred to me.
All right.
Okay. In the final number, the big, like, here it is, right? You come to Cats, you go to Cats to see Memories, right? That's why you go.
Right.
Everyone wants to see that part. And there's Jennifer Hudson. She's doing her thing. And when we went to see it, the music became louder than her lyrics, and I couldn't hear the last verse.
Yeah, that was another thing for me where I was like, I feel like they're almost trying to cover her up with this swelling orchestra. Whereas, I mean, Jennifer Hudson is a fucking singer. Like,
I love Jennifer Hudson.
Sing. She's good.
Yeah.
And I wish they had just kind of let her do that a little bit more a cappella.
So I asked somebody, and they said that their, I guess, sound mixing was a bit better, and that didn't happen to them.
Oh, really?
So I'm going to take that back, because if it was just the setup of my theater, then that is on my theater, not the movie.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take that back. I just thought it was really weird.
Give me something you liked. What did you like about the movie? I
actually have one thing that I love about the movie.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes.
I love the railway cat and his whole tap dancing scene. That was my favorite part of the movie. I fucking loved every second of his whole thing.
Did you love his little pants? Like, for some reason, the only cat who's wearing just full pants.
Yeah, he was in like a conductor thing or something, and I was digging him. I love it. Digging him. What's his name? Skimbleshanks?
Skimbleshanks, the railway cat.
Dude, the railway cat, I could watch that scene all day.
Yes.
It was phenomenal.
I just unapologetically love every single thing about Cats. Skimbleshanks is one of my favorite cats because his number is so damn good, and I make an exception for tap dancing for him.
Which, it's funny, because I was telling Ferdin about that, and we were making fun of how you won't watch La La Land because of supposed tap dancing, but here's clear tap dancing
that you
will watch.
It's just that one scene. I don't know.
But so, I did love that part.
Good. Was he your favorite cat?
Well, yeah.
My favorite cat got sidelined a little bit in this movie. I have several favorite cats now I'm thinking about it. So after watching the new Cats twice, I decided I'm going to watch the 1998 version of Cats because I wanted to make sure it was still like as magical in my mind as I remember it being when I was a kid.
Okay.
And it was not as magical as I remember it being. Because it was more magical than I remember it being. God. It was so good. Unfortunately, I had to watch it like full of ads because I found like a weird bootleg online.
Oh, sad.
It was uploaded to a website under Nature ASMR.
Okay. No, thank you.
Yes. Perfect.
No, thank you.
So yeah, I rewatched the original one because I was like, I want to kind of contrast and compare and see how my favorite things from the original translated into the new one. And I really love the original so much more. Like, the new one is great, and I think for what it wants to be, it's perfect. But
can I ask you a question about the new one, though?
Yes.
Do you think that it will be a cult classic? Like, do you think it's going to gain a following because of how weird it is? Or do you think it is just considered that bad?
I think there's a significant problem with Cats because it can't latch on to new people because everyone was so afraid to love it because the media took a big shit on it. And I think that people who are fans of the original musical, there's not enough of them who accept the changes that they made in this musical to accept it. Because in the original one, there's zero fucking plot. Like, people talk about the new one having no plot, but there's literally, like, they made changes to have an actual plot line in the new one. And the original one is just like, a cat comes on and gets introduced, and then they go away. And then a cat comes on, and they get introduced, and they go away.
That's the plot I took away from the new one, so...
Well, in the new one, they had that whole thing where, like, McCavity's magic, and he makes cats disappear to this random boat in the middle of the river.
That was really weird to me.
That didn't fucking happen in the original. It's just like...
I need to watch the, like, actual show production one.
Yeah.
And see if I like it better. But I don't know that I will, because I don't enjoy the music.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't like musicals, you don't like musicals. And that's a personal preference thing.
I like musicals. But like the music in Cats and Rent just don't get me.
You don't like stage Broadway musicals?
I do. Like, there's been several that I've liked. Well, you won't watch it, I don't think. But that Shrek the musical? No, because that's not a Broadway one.
Yeah.
Shrek the musical was good. The Legally Blonde one was actually pretty good.
Oh, I haven't seen that one, but I want to.
Phantom of the Opera, I did not think that I would like. And by the end, I really did like it.
Okay. Yeah, so you do like some Broadway stuff. All right.
Les Mis? No. Not because the music. I just thought that was a boring one. I was like, all right, like, come on, get there.
Okay, but one thing that you do have to like about the new Cats, Idris Elba's tight, shiny body.
No, it freaked me out.
It was terrifying. What a weird decision.
Okay, so that's my thing. I think... So you know how, like, when you do anything, when you create any universe, you have to come up with rules. Because if you don't have rules, nothing makes sense, right?
Right.
I feel like they laid out the rules for what this movie was going to be, but anytime somebody was like, well, can I do this? They just said, yes. And didn't look at the rules to see, like, no, we agreed all cats will have these type of physiques, only bare feet, no one else can have shoes. Like you need to have rules, defined rules, right, on how this world will be, and I don't think they had that. No,
they didn't, because it's like, can I be fully naked? Yes, you can. Well, can I be naked except I'm only wearing these awesome hip-hop sneakers and a cool chain? Like, sure, that's fine.
Can I unzip my skin to have a costume underneath?
So that is a thing that happens in the original Cats, but it's a much better and less upsetting costume change, because she fucking, in the new one, unzips her whole skin, and just becomes this,
like, a straight up cartoon character.
It's so creepy and so jarring, and I was like, I'm not here for this. And the old one, she's wearing, like, this big, like, roly-poly looking kind of cat suit, and then she, like, spins around, and it comes off on, like, dramatic stage fashion, and she's wearing this, like, slimming, like, jazzy tassel-y thing underneath, and it just kind of, it fits with the number, and it makes sense, and it just didn't make sense in the movie.
I've got another question for you, though.
Okay.
Because the world is all up in arms about this, and I don't know that I really cared.
Okay.
What do you think about Judi Dench wearing another dead cat?
Excuse me?
Like, she's wearing a fur coat. It's not just her. Like, she's wearing like another set of fur. So people are like, she's killed another cat and is wearing it.
Oh my god, that never
and it's a
even occurred
huge
to
thing.
me.
I mean, I was just like, well, yeah, she's a fancy cat. She has extra fur to wear around. That's fine.
Yeah, she just has more fur. I mean, that's just how it goes.
That didn't bother me, but the world is like, she's a cannibal cat. And like, they're freaking out about it.
So Old Deuteronomy in the original stage play has this like big kind of coat-looking costume, so I thought it was fitting.
Yeah.
But also Old Deuteronomy in the original stage play is a black man, and I really think that they should have cast the same dude, honestly, because he's still doing stuff. You fucking know who Old Deuteronomy is?
No.
He is the crocodile from All Dogs Go to Heaven.
Let's make music together?
Yes, and he's also Oogie Boogie.
Santa Claus?
Yes.
Oh, man.
Like, clearly this dude is still around, still singing. I really wish that they had had him in that movie instead of Judi Dench, because I mean, bless Judi Dench.
I could have liked that. Yeah.
Old Deuteronomy has this like powerful singing stage presence and just like this operatic voice, and that was really missing from this version of Cats.
Yeah.
So all in all, I would give Cats an 8 out of 10, the new one, because I love what they did with it. They made it their own. They made it original. They made it weird as hell. I would see it over and over and over again.
I have one more thing.
Okay.
Because I didn't take this from the new one. The cat orgy thing.
Yes.
Okay. I was like, say what? like I saw these news stories all about it, and then every time I would click a link, it would only take me to the original Cats.
Right. So in the original Cats, you know, like in the, I forget what they call it in the middle of a musical when they like stop and have a little, is it an interlude?
Mm-hmm.
Where they have like a kind of remix of all the stuff that's happened so far.
Yeah.
And they're just like dancing around. So during that part in the new movie, they're just like hanging out in that abandoned restaurant or whatever. And they're just like, let's celebrate the Jellicle moon. And they're just
their
dancing.
tails freaked out.
Yeah, they're just like dancing and looking at the moon and twitching their tails all around. And then in the stage version, it's much the same, except there's like clear gyrating and just like titty grasping.
Okay.
Full on cat groping, and it's a little disturbing.
Okay. So it's not the new one, it's the old one, and I guess people were like, I may have liked it, were there an orgy?
No. If that's your one qualifying thing that you want to see in Cats, like, sorry, don't bother.
I do have to tell you that, so we saw that New Year's Eve, right?
Yeah.
Taylor was so bored with it, because I knew Taylor would love it, because she loves musicals. She was so bored, I could not get her woke back up enough to stay awake for the ball to drop and stuff.
Oh my god.
She literally came home and, like, passed out. We're very sorry, but we don't like Cats.
That's okay. I love it enough for all three of us.
I know. I know you do, because you saw it already and then went back.
I would see it again.
I mean, it's still around.
I would pay more money to
I would
see
pay
it more
I would
times.
pay more money.
More money to go see it all alone.
I was kind of sad that we weren't alone, but
I know.
From what I've heard, every theater reacts the same.
Really?
Everybody gets really confused and then kind of start just like opening up towards the end and then getting really into it, just being like, yeah, do it! And then like they get into it, because we had that group in front of us that were like screaming like, yeah, don't let him get on the thing, woo! This lady next to me was drinking the whole time, right?
That's how you gotta see it. I mean,
well,
if you're into drinking.
I didn't know if she was like laughing because it was like, oh, this is how I always wanted Cats to look, or if it was like, what is happening?
Probably the second one, if I had to guess.
I couldn't ever tell, because she seemed to be thoroughly enjoying it, but when Idris Elba showed up with his physique, right?
Yeah.
She literally face-palmed her just like her whole head in her hand, and she goes, oh, Idris. So I don't know exactly what she thought, but she was quite a person to sit next to.
That's an appropriate reaction.
Speaking of that, since your movie is scorned from the Oscars,
yes,
I did want to tell you about a movie that was in the Oscars that I think you're going to hate.
Okay, lay it on me.
That The Irishman is literally up for every single thing imaginable.
It's ridiculous.
Like, it is up for everything.
It's shockingly not up for performance by an actor in a leading role, which I thought was weird.
Who would you have said it should have been?
I don't know. One of the two gangster dudes. I can't remember their fucking names because I was so bored out of my mind.
Like Robert De Niro or something?
Yeah. Yeah, he was the leader, right? Robert De Niro?
I don't know. I didn't see it.
I think he was the leading man.
I actually won't get to see it.
Why?
So, every year for the Oscars, I do a thing called the Best Picture Showcase.
Yes.
And they play every movie up for Best Picture. So this year there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 movies yet again.
Fuck, that's so many.
So like you go one Saturday and they'll show you 5, and then they'll show you 4 the next Saturday, right?
Yeah.
I will be in the UK again.
Oh man, that sucks.
And during the Oscars, so I don't get to watch it this year.
That's like your whole thing.
Like you guys saw me go over the Game Awards. That's my video game Oscars.
Yeah.
I love the Oscars. It is so boring, and I eat up every second of it. Do you know what my favorite thing is about the Oscars, though?
When Ricky Gervais hosts?
No.
Can you imagine?
He might like the Oscars. We don't know. But I love it when they do the songs, because they usually have the people come out and actually sing them live.
Oh yeah, like Adele Nazib.
Yeah, Adele Nazim. Well, she might be there again because she actually has another song in there for the songs this year.
For Frozen 2?
Uh-huh.
All right. What's the name of that song?
Into the Unknown.
Oh, right. Into the Unknown.
It's good. I mean, it's just because, she can hit them notes.
Uh-huh.
So, I just wanted to go over the Best Picture ones because those are the ones... That's like the big one. That's the one that matters, right?
Right.
So, Ford v. Ferrari.
I'm really surprised that got a nomination, honestly.
I'm kind of not. Like, I always thought it was going to be that good.
Did you see it yet?
No, I haven't. I have not seen it yet.
Yeah. I think it's a good movie for sure. I just don't think it's Oscar bait.
Do you think it was just because it's fun? You don't think, like, it was that enticing, though?
I don't know. Like, Oscars to me are, like, movies that take themselves too seriously.
Okay.
So every year at the Oscars I expect like a stuffy old like The fucking Irishman. I expect that fully to win because it's just jacking itself off the whole time. But
that just sounded very Kevin Smith of you to say, and I just found that really, really funny.
Okay.
Since you don't like him, I'm gonna make you like him one day.
Maybe I'll come around on Kevin Smith.
Okay.
We'll see how he feels about The Irishman.
He probably doesn't like it. Or he might love it. Who knows? I'll have to find out for you.
Kevin Smith. Are you a listener?
He'll be like, I love it! It's the best! So Ford v. Ferrari. The Irishman, which... That's on Netflix, right?
Yes.
Alright, so I can watch it, maybe.
If I could give more than 2 thumbs down, I would. I would give whole feet down, like all of it.
I was gonna say, can you just point your toes down, too? Just...
Just aggressively, all my digits downward.
Jojo Rabbit.
I want to see this so bad, and I still have not.
Okay, so that was the winner of Fantastic Fest.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's great, right?
I want to see it.
Like,
It really
it's good.
It seems like a very unique concept, and of course, Taika Waititi's hands are all over it, so
exactly.
It's going to be delicious.
Joker's up for one.
I did not know that Bradley Cooper was in this movie.
Well, I think he's a producer. Like, I think he helped pay for it.
Oh, okay.
Because he's definitely not in it.
All right, yeah, I'm looking at the credit list here, and it's like Todd Phillips, Bradley Cooper. I'm like, wait a minute.
So Taylor always goes to the Best Picture Showcase with me.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, well, I'll be gone. Are you still going to go? And she was like, yeah. And I go, okay, well, here's your movies. So I go, Ford v. Ferrari, The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker. And she goes, ugh. And I was like, you don't want to see it? And she's like, I mean, I guess I'll watch it. And I was like, it's good. Like, there's a reason it's here. It is good.
She desperately does not want to see it.
Yeah, she does not want to watch it.
I mean, I'm neither here nor there about it. I am not big on superhero movies, but you have described this as not a superhero movie, so...
That it is not. I mean, I just don't know how the highest grossing rated R movie of all time could not be up for something, you know?
Of all time?
Yeah.
God damn.
I mean, people were all over this movie. This one kind of got me. Little Women.
I'm excited to see this one on here.
Literally just came out.
Yeah, and it's also like a woman director, and you don't see a lot of those.
Yeah. Amy Pascal's
not in the
great.
Nominations anyway. But yeah, I definitely want to see this. It's still out in theaters. I'm making it a point to go see it.
Marriage Story, which I don't know what that is.
So this one is weird to me because it's a Netflix exclusive, and I didn't know that they had Netflix exclusive movies available to the Oscars.
So there was one last year as well.
What was it last year?
They actually did not play it in the Best Picture showcase because Netflix broke the rules.
Yeah.
No, they broke the rules.
What do you mean?
Like, to have a movie played in, like, the theater like that, it has to be released in a theater for so long before you put it only on your place.
What?
Yeah, so, like, it has to be, like, in the theater for, like, 3 full weeks, and then it can be on Netflix for it to, like, be a, like, theatrical release type movie.
Oh.
And this one, they let it go for, like a week, and then they were like, Netflix! And then they screwed it up.
Interesting. But yeah, Marriage Story is, what's his face? Mr. Longface from Star Wars and Girls, Adam Driver.
Yeah.
Him and Scarlett Johansson. And
so yeah,
in a marriage,
Taylor was telling me who it was, and I was like, oh, that sounds cool.
I like both of them.
Yeah.
As far as acting ship goes, so.
So the movie last year was Roma.
Oh, okay. That was a Netflix exclusive?
So it had a theatrical run for like 2 weeks, and then it was on Netflix.
Okay.
So yeah, people call it a Netflix movie, but...
Richard really wants to watch that one, but I'm just not into being sad about history, and it seems like that's what that type of movie is.
So... And then I guess... I'm just trying to get like... Because like... Oh, so see... Marriage Story had a limited theatrical release and then was on Netflix.
There you go.
But it went for a full month, so it's probably going to be played in the Best Picture showcase.
Yeah, I'm sure that they were like, let's follow the rules this time.
Okay, that makes sense. I was like, if it is, I mean, I guess, why can't a Netflix movie be considered that, you know?
Right.
If it's that damn good, why not? 1917.
Now, this one I really want to see.
Yeah.
I just finished saying that I don't like to be sad about history, but this looks like a really well done movie.
Well, so it's not based on anything true.
Okay, good. That I can put all that aside.
Yeah. So, the director, Sam Mendes, who did some of the best James Bond movies, like Skyfall.
Okay, nice.
He was like, I used to love talking to my grandpa about when he was in World War I. I'm gonna write a movie just for him.
Okay.
And so he just kind of like wrote a story kind of based on stories that his dad had told him, or his grandpa, and made a movie. And it is in one shot, so the camera literally never cuts away from what is happening. You follow these two guys the full 2 hours nonstop.
What? For real?
Now, it didn't take place in one shot, you know.
Well, that would be fucking incredible.
Yeah. But, yeah, it is... Once it opens, there is not a single cut. You are with these two guys the length of that movie until the end.
Holy shit, that sounds intense.
And it's supposed to be so good. I cannot wait to see that.
Speaking of intense, can you hear the sirens that are, like, outside my door right now?
I kind of heard one.
Okay. They're fading.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I didn't see that. I mean, it's Quentin Tarantino. I'm sure it's fine.
You either like Quentin Tarantino or you don't.
Yeah.
I'm in between.
Same. Like, I want to like his stuff because I remember growing up, I loved Kill Bill and Pulp Fiction, and then like, I don't know, as I get older, like Django Unchained was really good, but I just feel.
Ooh, I did like that one though.
It's a really, really good movie. I just feel like Quentin Tarantino just wants to find excuses to say the N-word. Like that's what his movies are built around.
Yeah.
So
I like him more action oriented, like Django, Kill Bill.
Yes.
But then you get like the nothing but talkers, right?
Yeah.
Like Inglourious Bastards is good. I've never watched it past the first time.
Yeah.
Because it's just 3 hours of talking, you know?
Yep.
And it's kind of how this one is. But
did you see,
I'll watch it.
What was it called? Hateful Eight?
No, because I heard that was like 4 hours of talking, and I was like, no, thank you.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. I thought it was decent. I feel like it could have been shorter, and it was exceptionally violent. So
yeah,
I mean that's just Quentin Tarantino.
That's true.
It could have been shorter, and it was exceptionally violent.
There's one of his movies that I quote all the time, though, that nobody has seen.
Which one?
It's called. Hang on, now I can't remember. I think it's called
Remember.
4 Rooms.
Yeah, I've not heard of that one.
It's like, yeah. So it's this like bellhop, right?
Okay.
So it's actually co-directed by 4 different people.
Oh.
And I guess each room was directed by a different person.
Oh, interesting.
So it's like, here's this bellhop, and he's dealing with this room, right? And so I guess this guy directed what happens in there, and then he goes back to the front desk, and now he's dealing with this room, and then this person did it, right?
Okay.
But the one that I quote, the part I quote all the time, one of the rooms, like Antonio Banderas leaves his kids in the room alone, and he tells like the bellhop, watch my kids for me, I'll be back. Well, the kids are doing whatever up there, and the girl keeps going, it stinks in here, like it stinks really, really bad. So she calls the desk, hey, it stinks, right? Okay. And he goes, you probably just didn't wash your feet. So he hangs up on her. And they keep doing all this stuff, and she like pushes the bed, like the mattress off the bed, and there's a dead hooker in the box spring.
Oh my god.
And so she's like, hello, there's something in my room. And he's like, I'm fucking tired of these kids. So he runs up there, and he goes, what do you want? And she's like, there's a dead hooker in the bed. And he's like, no, it's your smelly feet. And then he turns and sees this hooker dead in the bed. And as he vomits, he says, what the fuck? While vomiting. And I think about that part all the time, because I thought it was the funniest thing I'd ever seen in my life.
Oh, and the bellhop is played by Tim Roth. I love him.
Yeah.
It's
a really interesting movie.
I have to look that one up.
Okay, so Quentin Tarantino. Oh, well, no wonder I like that part, because it's directed by Robert Rodriguez, and I fucking love him. Yeah. Oh, he's one of my favorites. But Quentin does The Last Room, and he's got Samuel L. Jackson back there, and Bruce Willis, and all the standard people.
Yep.
So, there's a weird movie to watch one day.
Okay.
But so, alright, so we had Once Upon a Time. Then there's Parasite, which I'm very interested to see.
Yeah, so Parasite, is this the first one? Maybe I'm being ignorant here, I don't know. But, like, I hardly ever see, like, Asian people.
So, this is what bothers me about this one. Parasite is up for Best Picture and Best International Picture.
Oh, so they have 2 different ones. Okay, yeah, because I was gonna say, I don't think this was an American release, was it?
I don't think it was, and then it did come out here later.
Oh. Parasite movie.
But, like, what if you won both? I don't think that's fair. You should only get one. You're either going to be in the Best Picture or Best International Picture. You can't be both.
This is fascinating to me because, 1, it's Korean, 2, it's a comedy, and 3, it's also a thriller. And you hardly see any of those ever up for Best Picture.
Do you know what this guy made before this movie? And it's a movie that people fucking love.
Is it Snowpiercer?
Oh, well, he did do... Wait, I thought he did the other one. Hang on.
Snowpiercer.
Let me make sure I've been telling people right. I have not been telling people right.
Uh-oh.
Oh, all right. Well, so he did Snowpiercer, and I haven't
I
seen
thought
that.
so. I haven't seen Snowpiercer, but people fucking love this movie, and I want to see it.
And then he did Okja too.
What's that?
That's the Netflix movie where the little girl has this like giant pig cow pet thing, and then the parents sell it to like make money, and they're taking it to like the slaughterhouse, but it's her friend.
Okay.
And so she's like trying to stop them from like chopping her pet up as meat for like people, you know?
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be like the most sad thing on the face of the planet.
That sounds sad. So
I, for some reason, thought this guy did Train to Busan.
Oh. Well, Snowpiercer's a train.
That's true. I probably heard it on something and then they were wrong. Who knows?
Who does Train to Busan?
I don't know, but I've always wanted to watch that too. And it's on Netflix as well.
Yeah.
The Zombies on a Train. Sounds perfect.
Directed by Jan
Not even close to the same guy.
Nope.
So, Parasite, I'm very interested to see because I have heard crazy good things about that movie.
Is that the one? That's not the one where, like, what's her face? Also from Girls. Marnie is, like, throwing up on the... What is the name of the movie? Shit. Okay, Marnie from Girls. I'm gonna get there. And movies that she's in. Wikipedia. She was the chick in Get Out who was like eating a Fruit Loop and then sipping milk through a straw. Remember her?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was so weird.
I know.
Hurt me.
The Perfection. That's the movie that I'm thinking of with her.
Okay. I have not seen that either.
I haven't either, but I thought it had to do with parasites.
I don't know.
Well, we're way off track on this one.
I know. Like, I just know it's good, and I would love to see it.
Yeah, I want to see it too.
But
Damn.
I'm probably missing the Best Picture showcase, so I will probably have just seen the one of these that I have seen, which is Joker.
Yeah, I've seen 2 of these, and one was good by my standards. It won't win an Oscar. The other one is terrible by my standards. Probably will win.
So, anyway, Oscar nominations are live. I bet nobody watches this or cares. But those are the big movies. Let us know if you guys have seen these movies and who you think will win, or who you think deserves to win, even though you don't think it will win.
Yeah.
My bet, I mean, I would lean towards The Irishman just from what I've heard, but I really think it's between Jojo Rabbit or Parasite.
You know, I'm seeing a severe lack of Marvel and Star Wars in this list.
They're pretty much in sound and visual effects, and that's it.
Oh, my boy got nominated for original screenplay. Knives Out.
Oh, yeah, I was going to tell you that.
Mr. Rian. Is it Rian? I keep fucking going back and forth. Rian Johnson, right?
It is Rian Johnson.
I'm gonna call him Rian.
Okay.
Just makes me feel better.
Give him that little bit of flair.
Yeah, Rian Johnson.
Did you see his tweet? I think you sent it to me.
Yes.
Where somebody was like, how about Daniel Craig just does a new accent every time? And he was like, I went there.
Yeah.
But I'm not doing that.
I would love that so much. If he made like a different Knives Out movie every single time with Daniel Craig, but different accent. That's my cup of tea.
Apparently, Daniel Craig does that one accent because he worked on it for like this one movie. And I could just see him being like, I'm not learning a new accent every fucking 2 years. Like, screw that.
Yeah.
Because I'm bad at them. I couldn't imagine having to learn a new one all the time. Mine go Texan to Arnold Schwarzenegger, and that's about it.
Yeah, that's every single accent you do just ends up right back at Arnold.
Yep, there's no in between.
Hard left turn at Arnold.
Yep, that's why they didn't cast me for Knives Out. They were like, we wanted like Kentucky, not Austrian. And it was like, I am.
This is my Kentucky accent.
Tell me.
God.
Hang on. Okay. Tell me, do you think that your father would have killed himself? Yeah, that movie would not have been the same.
No.
So, thank you for not casting me. Oh, man. We saw another movie, and it looks like you didn't die.
Not yet. Yeah, so we went and watched The Grudge.
Okay, so can I go ahead and rate it as well?
Yeah, let's rate it at the same time. Ready?
Okay. 3, 2, 1. A 2. Yeah.
Yep.
Like, it's right there with Cats, because also choices did not make sense.
Yeah, it really didn't make sense. Like, so we talked about this pretty extensively after we left the theater, but I just want to rehash because fuck. I am a really big fan. Like, I hate the original movie just because it has like needled its way into my brain and just lives there now.
Yeah.
And every time I turn around, I'm like, there's gonna be a fucking dead, wet Japanese girl behind me. But anyway, I love the original Grudge so much. It holds a very special place in my heart. And I was hoping that this one would be like a new and exciting, more terrifying spin on the original Grudge. And
yeah. Like, that's what I had said when we watched the trailer on the show. I was like, this looks so intense.
It really looked intense. And I thought that our boy Harold or whatever was going to be a pretty big part of the movie, but he wasn't. He was like a significant part of the trailer. Everything you see in the trailer is all you get in the movie.
Pretty much. Like, what I didn't understand was the Grudge is that little Asian lady, right?
Right.
That's kind of the premise. She's not in this movie.
Yeah, not at all.
I mean, she probably was in that like opening 30 seconds. You just
With,
never
like,
see her.
the garbage bag or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
so in the opening, there is that moment where she's on her cell phone and like you can see the house in the background, and there's a face in the window of the house, and it was like, that's the face.
Yeah.
And then the first and only really jump scare when, she's on the phone, the fucking Grudge is there. But yeah, that's all you see of her.
I had told Haley about it, and I was like, okay, the quote they open with, the quote that the movie opens on is, when you die in the grip of rage in a place, that place becomes grudged.
Yes.
Right? And this movie has no place. It only has who's. It's all about the people. There's no place that draws them together.
So I was really excited when they opened the movie with that, because I was like, yes, this is like really rehashing the old shit, and we're going to get deep into it. Yeah. And then, like you said, so it starts out with this lady who's in Japan, like house sitting or something, and then she's like, I have to come home early. I'm really freaked out about this house, and she leaves and she comes home, and then she kills her whole family.
Yeah.
For whatever reason.
Like months later, though.
Yeah. So it's as if the Grudge didn't stay with the house, it followed her home.
Which apparently is in one of the sequels, so okay, fine, we'll let you have it, right?
I guess. So then the detective who comes to visit her, or who comes to like investigate the murders, he goes into the house, and then he gets grudged, and then like it just follows him around now, and then he dies, and then somebody has to investigate his death, and that person gets grudged, and the real estate agent who's trying to sell the house gets grudged, and they all just
my whole thing is, everybody sees these people, and that's what drives them crazy to kill people.
Yeah.
So to me, the original lady would have seen the Asian lady, right? So why do we never see the Asian lady? We only see all the American people.
Yeah, I don't know.
Again, your rules. You have to have rules.
You gotta have rules. It's important.
The rules make everything.
The rules make a movie. I think that's what's so important about horror movies is like you have to have a set of rules that you follow, and like it makes a movie more predictable, but it also makes a movie more satisfying. Like you kind of expect it to go plot point A to plot point B to plot point C. It has to make sense. You can't go from like A, skip over B, go to C, and then introduce Q. Like, why is Q here? We haven't even gone through like LMNOP yet. Yeah.
So I just wanted to give you this little quick list. This was big. This like came out a couple years ago, but Chuck Jones, who was like insanely famous for his Looney Tunes cartoons, right?
Yeah.
Like literally one of the greatest animators ever. I love everything he ever did. The Grinch that I love so much, that's him. I watch it all the time. But so Pixar has 22 rules for storytelling.
Whoa. Okay.
And apparently Chuck Jones has 9 golden rules for the Wile E. Coyote cartoons, right?
Perfect.
And so these are rules that always happen, and people fucking love those because they make sense, right? They always work.
Yeah.
But so here's just his 9 rules real quick. Like, rule 1. The Roadrunner cannot harm the coyote except by going beep beep.
Okay.
Right? So he never hurts him. Hold that rule, right?
Right.
Rule 2. No outside force can harm the coyote, only his own failure of the Acme products.
Yep.
The coyote could stop at any time if he were not a fanatic. So, like, he just has that craziness to him, right?
Yeah.
Rule 4. No dialogue ever except beep beep. The Roadrunner must stay on the road, otherwise, logically, he could not be called a Roadrunner.
I love that.
That rule's hilarious. All action must be confined to the natural environment of the 2 characters, so it only takes place in the Southwest American desert.
Uh-huh.
All materials, tools, everything must be obtained from the Acme Corporation. Rule 8, whenever possible, make gravity the coyote's greatest enemy. Which I think that's hilarious.
Yep.
And then the coyote is always more humiliated than harmed by his failures.
Perfect. And see, if you follow those rules, you can make a perfect Wile E. Coyote. So why didn't Sam Raimi keep his Roadrunner on the road?
Yeah, like, because you could just have anything happen at any time, but if you hold to this, you always get that consistent idea, you know? The idea is that he can't catch him, and it's always his fault, but if the Roadrunner can just badmouth him, or he can do this, like, it turns not into what it was.
I know, and I was so excited to see Sam Raimi's name attached to this movie, and now I'm, like, disappointed in it.
I know. That'd be like saying, drag me to hell, right?
Yeah.
Well, you can actually give it back without having to give the item back from that stuff, right? Like,
right.
That's the rule.
And
but if you can just willy-nilly change it, then what's so scary about this concept?
Exactly. So at the end of the Grudge, the new Grudge, they burn down the house, and I'm like, perfect. That's how you get rid of the fucking curse. If the curse is tied to this place, everybody who fucking goes here gets that curse and takes it away with them. Burn the house. Problem solved.
Yeah.
And yet, problem remains unsolved because she's still grudged at the end of the movie.
Which, I don't know.
Yeah, I found it the whole thing frustrating. I wanted to like it. It was scary. It was gross. It was... I
was just constantly waiting for, like, the big scary moment when, like... Yeah. Because I remember, like, the lady crawling down the stairs all slow towards her and all the stuff. That's tension. That's horror. Like, all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
And this one's big thing was, what do we do when we're scared? Oh, you didn't say it. You must not be him. I'm just going to burn you. And then that was it.
Yeah.
Nothing happened. There was no real tension in this movie.
Yeah, it wasn't. The one part that kind of got me. So there was the one part where she's talking to the boy in bed, and she's like, "Come out of bed," and he walks to the end of his bed through a shadow, and then suddenly like turns into a monster. That really freaked me out.
That was a really good scare. That was the one highlight.
But I was thinking about it again, and another part that really got me was when the pregnant wife lady walks out, and her husband Harold is standing there with, he's just like hanging out in the kitchen, and he's got the scissors in his hand, and you can only see it like as he turns, the light kind of hits them. You can't see his eyes because they're covered in like these rain stained glasses, and the camera zooms out to the outside of the house, and you see the wife in one frame and Harold in the other frame, and then suddenly like he dashes toward her, and that's the last thing you see. So that part I thought was really well
shot.
Yes, well shot, but it didn't scare me.
Yeah, you were just like, nice. That really got me. Good job. Yeah.
Good job. But I didn't want good job. I wanted scare job.
I know. Big old thumbs down for me.
Yeah.
I would wait for Netflix or something like that.
For sure. Don't bother with that one in the theaters.
Yeah.
One more thing in theaters that I really want to see, but I don't think I'm going to get to see.
Okay.
Underwater.
I'll see it with you.
You will?
Of course I'll see it.
Good. Okay. I want to see this so bad, but Richard won't see it with me because he's scared of underwater things.
I don't like water, period.
Yeah, I'm shocked
water
that you're gonna see
is
this
my
one.
nemesis. I see all those movies, though.
It's true, yeah.
Like, I mean, I went and saw 47 Meters Below, and that's like underwater and sharks. That's like a double whammy. But that movie was really stupid.
Yeah.
The first one, great. The new one,
Yeah, Underwater looks like it's going to be legit good. I'm really looking forward to this. I don't think it's going to be campy. I think it's going to be straight up horrifying.
I think it's The Descent, but underwater.
Yes.
That's the vibe I get, but I don't know. I could be wrong. It could be something very different.
I just want to see it for Kristen Stewart and that bald head and those big round glasses.
Oh, man.
She's so beautiful.
So, yes, we can go see this movie. That's fine.
Yes. It looks like Underwater Cloverfield to me. That's the vibe I get.
So, that's funny you bring that up, because I was just reading an article earlier today that was like, Underwater really should have been a Cloverfield prequel.
Yes.
And so I'm like, what is going to be in this movie? So I'm wondering if it's just some giant monster and not a bunch of tiny monsters like I think. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm excited to see. I just... it appeals to all my senses. Do you want to burn this cursed ash to the ground?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Listeners, look to your left. Look to your right. Both of those people have no idea what this podcast is. Please tell them about it. Help us grow. Don't forget to subscribe to us on your most favorite platform so you never ever miss an episode. We release weekly, every Monday. Each one, we're here for you.
No matter what is happening, we make sure that we keep that schedule.
If the Grudge burns our house down, we're going to find a place to record.
Oh, man. We'll just get her on the show.
Gross. If you have a second to rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, that really, really helps our ratings. That helps us get visibility. It helps everything in the whole world. So if you could do that, we would love you forever.
You can find us and friend us on social media. We are at YMBTOAP on Twitter and Instagram. Be sure to like our Facebook page. Also, subscribe to our channels on YouTube and our newly... what is it when like you break a bottle on like a boat and stuff?
Christened.
Yeah, our newly christened Twitch.
We broke the Baba bottle.
Where we played Baba.
It was so much fun. We uploaded the full video to YouTube. We put some tags in there so you can go to our favorite moments. It was a good time.
Yeah, you can watch us start out so happy just to be playing it.
Fresh-faced and full of life.
And then just slowly descend into like, why am I here? This game, you just have to watch and see for yourself. You can also email us at ymbtoap@gmail.com. Please send us your listener mail. Let us know if you liked what we did on Twitch. If you have any other games you'd like to see me and Kelsey play.
Yes.
Also write in what you think of the Oscars, because I bet 100% of you say it's horribly boring and you make sure to skip it every year. And I don't fault you for that. But if you don't know what the Best Picture Showcase is, I think it's just a fun little way to see some good, sometimes good movies.
I think it's skip The Irishman, though.
Sometimes. I have chosen to sleep in several of the movies before.
Oh my god, really?
1 year, Lincoln was in there, right?
Uh-huh.
And I was like, I'm not watching that.
Yeah,
and
I can't blame you.
I just, like, bunched up my jacket, and I just, like, snuggled into it, and... went to sleep for 3 hours, woke up, and was like, oh, yep, he's still Lincoln.
Refreshing nap.
That was the end of the movie.
Nice.
I was like, all right, cool. On to the next one. But I've seen some of my favorite movies go into that thing, so I'll post a link to it. They'll be selling tickets for it soon, and you can see the movies we talked about earlier. And if you guys do go, let me know what you think of those movies, because I won't get to see them this time. So...
Our theme song is The Grim Reaper Blows the Horn by Farage. Please check him out on YouTube. As always, thanks for listening, and tune in next time to get the answer to that burning question. Is The Irishman really going to sweep the Oscars?
one more important sound we wanted you to hear.
Just could you imagine, like, there's a ghost in your house right as you go to record, and you're like, dude, either jump in or go away. So you're in. Okay, cool.